We're back. Birds are singing outside. I was being facetious last time I filmed about the weather, but it actually is really sunny and beautiful outside today. I thought it was really sunny and beautiful. I went and closed my blinds or my curtains. I have just shears on the window and it was a little too bright with them open, so I closed those before filming. Hi, welcome back. This is Lee. Me. I am Lee. I think you're right. I think you're right. I always feel like it looks like a mess up here, even though it's just like not a mess. I don't know. I think it's this stuff here. Like if I didn't have this stuff, because I didn't put it away. It's not supposed to be here. This is like oil painting stuff and it's not supposed to be here. Anyways, ignore this. And by ignore, I mean I'm gonna put it on the floor. It's like mediums and stuff. It's a little better, right? You can just see my notebooks. I'm getting distracted. Hello, it's me, Lee. I am coming at you from Pittsburgh, PA today. As with most days, I don't know where my phone went. I left it over there. I'm drinking lukewarm coffee from my mug from the original Pancake House in Columbia, South Carolina, which is my hometown. One of our hot spots for when we would go get brunch. Hold please. I'm back. I have my phone in case I need it. Because today we're doing this as I do every time without notes. I had the urge to film today. Even though I haven't actually edited the last episode yet at this point. It is, oh, the reason I wanted my phone was to tell you the date. It's March 1st. How about that? It has been approximately 10 days since I filmed the last episode. And yeah, I still haven't edited it, but I plan on editing it today. As soon as I'm done with this episode, in fact, is my plan. That's my plan for the day. So I have a pretty packed episode for you today. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I didn't say what this is. This is a knitting podcast. Knitting and crafting podcast. I mostly knit. I sometimes crochet. I have a couple of crochet projects today. And I also dabble in sewing, both machine and hand sewing, and cross stitch. Welcome to the crafting podcast. I remember when I first started this podcast, like a long time ago, I would tell you a fun fact about myself at the beginning of every episode. And I took a shower this morning and my hair has like this like lump in it and it's really shiny and distracting. It's fine, whatever. Maybe I'll start doing fun facts again though, because I still haven't done like an intro video introducing myself to new viewers. Really should do that. I also decided, I know I mentioned it in the last episode, but I will be doing an updated stash tour. So if you are interested in seeing an obscene amount of yarn, I know that's not for everybody, but I personally live for stuff like that. I will watch stash tours and studio tours and craft room tours all day long. Absolutely all day long. But I will be doing an updated stash tour soon. Like probably in the next month or so. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed today. Like, I have general like anxiety, but my anxiety manifests itself, unless it's really bad. If it's really bad, I will have panic attacks. But if it's like just daily stuff, or just like really general overarching anxiety, it always manifests itself mostly physically. So if I have trouble breathing today, it is because I am anxious. Oh my God. And I took a shower, so I have hair. I'm shedding. I have hair just like sticking on everything. But anyways, I mentioned what this is, I mentioned who I am, I mentioned where I am, and I mentioned the date. That's all the stuff, right? I think that's right. All right, I have some big news in the life update segment of today. So stick around if you're interested in hearing something super fun and what I'm super excited about, and also what is causing my anxiety. So, okay, let's start with FOs, because I actually have one. Just one? Two. I have two. I have 2.5. So let's start there. First FO are my February striped socks. If you missed previous episodes, I mentioned that I am making a pair of striped socks every month this year, and this was my pair for February. They are for Bradley, my husband, and the color is, do I still have the tag here? I don't still have the tag here. I threw it away. Now is the perfect time to tell you that every single project that I have mentioned in this episode will be listed in my project pages on Ravelry with all of the details on colorways and needle sizes and patterns, anything. So if I don't remember any of the details during the talking portion of this video, you can always go check out my project page on Ravelry, and you can find any missing details if you are dying to know. But this, I think it's called Cherished. But this is a self-striping sock set from the Cozy Knitter. And it has a hair on it. Of course it does. And it was self-striping with a contrasting mini that I used for the heels and toes only. And the pattern for these is, I didn't use an actual pattern, I just did vanilla socks. But for Brad, they're 1x1 rib cuff and then a 3x1 ribbed leg for a better fit. And I keep the rib going down the top of the foot but not the bottom. So yeah, that was my February pair of socks. I finished them a few days ago, so still in February. Today's March 1st, so I get to start my March pair, which I'll talk about in cast on plans because I have a couple of cast on plans. But yeah, first FO, Brad's socks. Second FO, I'll actually talk about my half finished object next because I have, no, I won't. I'll just do my second FO, that's fine. All right, my second FO is a crochet project. Can you believe? Crochet. This is actually a test for Natalie of Nitty Natty for her playtime cowl. And it is, I did the double loop version, and it is a crochet cowl, and mine is not washed or blocked yet. So it will probably grow a little bit, not a ton because it is a pretty good size now. But I used non-superwash wool for this. I don't think I knew it was non-superwash when I purchased it. I think I purchased it to be sock yarn and didn't realize that it was 100% non-superwash wool with no nylon in it. So not ideal for socks. But oh my god, isn't it fun? Like I said, it's not washed and blocked yet. It fits nicely. It's nice and holey, so it's good for transitional seasons, but it's also wool and it's also double wrapped. So I honestly don't think much wind would get through it. But yeah, it's cute. I think it turned out perfect. The yarn is, I do still have the tag for this one. The yarn, I do not still have the tag for this one. Oh no, it's okay. I do have the tag for this one. It's over on my work table, my workbench, which is where I wind up or cake up yarn. Give me a moment and I will go grab a pile of tags. All right, I said a pile of tags, I really meant just one tag. But this is the relevant tag. So this yarn is beautiful. Did I do a close-up? It's got oranges and yellows and this really pretty like brownie pink throughout. And it is from Cornbread and Honey. in the color Daffodil Fields, which is hard for me to say because I always want to say Daffodil Fields. And it is a fingering weight 100% non-superwash merino, 436 yards. And this was lovely. This yarn was lovely to work with. I believe the pattern for the Playtime Cow will be released this month in March. I think mid-month. I will have the exact date listed in the written down in the description box below because Natalie did say, and I just can't remember off the top of my head. There is a double loop version and a single loop version, and you can do it with or without a border. I did it with a border, but I used the same color as my main color for the border, which is this fun little, like, it almost gives it like a picot texture on the edge. It's cute. But that's my second FO, and I started and finished that one since I saw you last. I had quite a time with this cowl, getting gauge, and I ended up having to buy several crochet hooks. I bought both a 4mm and a 5mm for this project. These I already had. They're just in my bag. But these were the two new ones I bought, a 4mm and a 5mm, and I ended up using the 5mm for the whole project. So be sure to gauge swatch for this for sure. And I'm excited to be able to empty that project bag and wash it and take pictures. It's gonna be fun. And that is it for FOs. Now let's talk about whips. Once again, as usual, I only brought the whips that I have actively been working on. They are not all of my whips, just the ones that have had work since I spoke to you last. So first things first, we will stick on the crochet train and I will update you on my granny square blanket. If you are new here, I am using an advent calendar from 2020. It is my Woolberry Fiber Co. advent calendar. I'm using it to make a granny square blanket. I am using, again, Natalie's pattern. It's not a very specific pattern, it's just granny square instructions. I'm using her pattern, but I am doing 9 rounds of double crochet instead of 8, I believe. Anyways, I can get 2 from each 20-gram mini. And I've thrown a couple of extra bits in there, some extra colors, and I have also, like, scraps and such. And I also have been using the main color that came in the advent to make squares out of as well. And this is all I have left of the main color. I am getting so close. And I only have 1 mini left. This is the last mini. There we go. The last mini. The last mini. I have 1 square going right now. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 rounds away from finishing this square. And then all I have left are this, or is this. And then that's all I have left for squares. Since I saw you last, or spoke to you last, I have completed 6 squares, which is not a lot, 6 squares in 10 days, but I've been working on this very casually. I was really gung-ho at the beginning. This was the most recent color I worked on. This is the main color. And then this color is one of my favorites. I was so happy working this one up. Look how beautiful it is. Oh my God, this blanket is gonna be so much fun. Now, I'm gonna set these over here and not back in my bag so that I can put them with all of the other completed squares. So exciting. Oh, also this is in a project bag that I made. It is some vintage fabric and some like heavier weight fabric, and I quilted it with embroidery floss. Second whip. I'll do a quick update on my other test that I have going. This is a test knit, not a test crochet, and oh my gosh, it is so much fun. This is a sweater designed by Hannah of Herb Garden Knitwear, and it is called the Vivian Sweater, and I am getting so close. Oh no, my finger has like a tag of skin that's getting caught on like the yarn. This is the Vivian Sweater test knit. It is folded up. It has been an adventure, but I'm so happy with how it's turning out. It's going to block amazingly. I have the body done, I have one sleeve done, and I am this far down the second sleeve. Ah, it's so good. It's got a high collar, and the texture is a twisted rib with bobbles, and then there is a twisted rib cuff and hem to the body. Oh man, it's gonna be so good. I finished the body once. I don't even know if you'll be able to tell, but I finished the body once, and you can tell a little bit because it's a little bit like wrinkly down here, and stopped it about here. You can kind of see a line there, and then finished the body with the ribbing, and then realized when I tried it on that it was just a little too short. I have a problem. I don't know. When I wear cropped things, let me think of how to describe it. When I wear cropped things, if I knit them to exactly the length of my waist, I'm just not as huge a fan of the look as if it's just a little bit longer and it like sits on my hips so that there's a little bit of extra like poof out where the shirt sits on my hips. I don't want it to be like really tight and like lift, like have my boobs stick out underneath if I lift my arms or anything. I want a little bit of extra length there. But I never remember that while I'm knitting, so I always end up shortening things to my actual torso length, and then I'm like, oh, this isn't long enough. I will never learn my lesson. I'm fairly certain I will never learn my lesson. So what I had to do with this is I could have just ripped back. Honestly, I could have just ripped back, but I really did not want to knit twisted rib again. I really did not. So I cut it. I cut it right there. I knit 3/4 of an inch more and then sewed the ribbing back on. So that was that fun adventure. That's the third sweater I've had to cut and Kitchener back together. The third one. You think I would learn my lesson. But it's getting close. Just a sleeve now, and then that's it. When I cut the body up and finished all that and fixed all that, I ended up weaving in a whole bunch of ends too, so I really am close. The yarn for this is Knit Picks Palette in the color Dough. It is a 100% Peruvian Highland wool, and I love it. I love this yarn. I am also kind of keeping my eyes open while I'm in here for my size 2 needles because I don't know where they went, and I would like to work on another project, but I don't know where I put the needles for it. So I'm also kind of digging through bags while I'm here. But yeah, that is almost done. Hopefully I'll be able to finish her this week. Lovely Vivian. And like I said, all of the pattern details will be on my project pages. Next we have, this is my VZ, which I have written here. I can never remember who designed the VZ. It is designed for Brooklyn Tweed, but was designed by Paula Pereira. And this is it. It came out with their like school year collection last September. And this actually has gotten a fair bit of work because I went to knit group this past week And while I was there, I got a good bit done and then realized I was really close to finishing the body. So I just kept working on it here at home too. So I have finished the body except for the ribbing, which I'm on now. So I'm on the ribbing. It is 1x1 ribbing for like 15 more rounds or something, and then I'll be done with the body. And this also looks super short. This is a crop sweater, but the neck will not be quite this open because I have to do the neckband, and the neckband is fairly thick. Like it looks like a good 2-inch thick neckband. So that'll make up for a lot of this like openness. But yeah, I'm so excited. As soon as I am done with this ribbing, which I hope to be done with today, that would be really cool, I can start sleeves. I am knitting this out of Brooklyn Tweed Arbor, which is the called for yarn. I just started a new cake. Oh, here we go. And the color is Crumb, which is a discontinued color, but it's so good. I love this color. I'm also using 2 contrast colors for the stripes on the neckband, and are they on the wrist as well? They're at least on the neckband. But I'm using these 2 colors as the contrasts. I'm using Spruce, which is, I believe, also a discontinued colorway. Sorry about that. And Butte, which is not discontinued. And I still have 4 skeins of this. I knit a whole sweater out of Spruce a while back and had 4 extra skeins left over, and then this was just a scrap. So great to use scraps to stash bust this project. But I love Arbor. It feels kind of weird when you're knitting with it, but there's something really satisfying about it, and then once it blocks, it is just the most incredible fabric. One of my favorites, for sure. So yeah, that's that. And then my last work in progress is a new cast on since I've spoken to you last. And it is the Daily Socks from Summer Lee. It is her new sock pattern that she just released. I have finished an entire sock. It looks really small and weird because this texture is a slip stitch texture, so it's really like tight. Like it makes the row gauge really bunch up. It like, see the bottom of the foot? It's like curved. But it stretches out over your foot and it fits perfectly. Oh my gosh, look how nice. I love it. It's kind of bizarre to knit it because it feels like it works up really slow because of all of the slip stitch rows. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Last night I cast on the second one and I got through the cuff. So there we go. This color looks so beautiful on camera. This is a sock set from Little Lionhead Knits, and it is the Dutch Courtyard sock set. And so it's got this beautiful orange and this blue with little orange speckles in it. Incredible. Little Lionhead Knits has the most incredible colorways. She's definitely one of my favorite dyers, but her sock set, her sock base is also one of my favorites. It's so soft. I don't know why her sock yarn is so much softer than everyone else's, but it is. It's so good. Highly recommend. But not too much because it's starting to get to where I can't get her yarn in updates. She sells out too fast. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. I love orange and she knows an orange. And that's my last whip. Do we want to do future cast-ons? This is incredible right here. That's who I am today, I guess. Let's do future cast-ons and then acquisitions. That sounds appropriate to me. First things first are socks. I have pulled out the yarn for my March self-striping socks so that I can get my striped socks started for March, and they are going to be this set. This is a sock set from Tiny Human Knits. It is a 50-gram main skein and a 20-gram mini, and it is her Kiwi colorway. It is just called Kiwi Sock Set, but it looks like a kiwi fruit. I love it so much. Kiwi are one of my favorite fruits, and they always have been. When I was in middle school, this is so lame, but if this doesn't perfectly describe a middle schooler, I don't know what does. But when I was in middle school, my two best friends and I made like our own little club where it was just the three of us, and we each had an assigned color and we each had an assigned fruit. And we used the color and the fruit as like code names for each other when we like wrote each other notes. It was really stupid, but kiwi was my fruit then because it has always been one of my favorite fruits to eat. I love kiwi. I can eat like 6 kiwis in a sitting. But yeah, there we go. That'll be my March sock set. Other future cast on is one that I've been like mulling about, but I really want to cast on a pair of Andrea Mowry's Curio socks. I had actually bought 2 skeins of Spin Cycle dyed in the wool last year sometime, maybe before that. It's been a while, but I bought 2 skeins because I wanted to use them in socks. And so when she came out with her Curio pattern, I said, oh, that's it. That's perfect. Perfect. So I actually put both of the options up in a picture and sent it to my friend and said, which one of these should I start? And this is the one she picked. So I have this color of dyed in the wool. It is called End of Summer. And it looks, pulled out like this, it looks mostly just brown and yellow and orangey red. But, you can see a little bit here. It's got some of these like lime greens in it too. So it has huge 70s vibes. I am really into it. But to really pull that lime green out, because I just happened to get a skein that doesn't have a ton of the lime green. You can see some there. I got the contrast color here. It's coming up a little greener, like a little more bluey green on camera, but it is a really true like yellow green, yellowy lime green. This is the Onion Nettle Sock yarn in the color, oh, it just has a number, 101. I don't know the name of the color, but yeah, I got those to go together. So I will be making a pair of Curio socks with these. I'm not sure when I'll cast them on though, because I do need to start my striped socks, and I have not been in a sock mood. I have 1, 2, 3 pairs of socks on the go. Nope, 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of socks going now, including my daily socks. So I will have 5 when I start my striped socks. So I may hold off on these for a little while, but we'll see. I may hit my sock mojo again. Like hit my sock groove again. I've also been eyeballing this skein from my stash because I'm really ready for spring. This is, oh, hold on. Sneezed. Oh my goodness. My dog, I heard him downstairs. He doesn't like it when I sneeze. It's because he gets worried about me and I make loud noises. I think he's probably gonna come upstairs and check on me. Yeah, I hear him coming. We may have a doggy interruption. But yeah, I've been thinking about this color too. This is from Yarn Baker. You know, focus, there we go, Yarn Baker, and the color is called Crocus, which is perfect for this time of year. The crocuses are probably gonna pop up here really soon. So I've been thinking about this one too. I have it sitting out and I keep looking at it. Do you bask? Do you bask in your yarn? Because I do all the time. Brad makes fun of me because he'll come up here and I'll just be standing in this room like staring at this wall. Or like sitting on the floor with like yarn around me. What's the point of having it if you're not gonna like enjoy it? Like if you can't knit with it right now, you still wanna enjoy it. Just touch it, sit with it, bask. I wish to bask. All right, last thing I have are acquisitions and life updates, which are all very exciting. I have a lot of acquisitions to show you today, which I shouldn't, but I do. Let's just get into it. First acquisition I have is a sock yarn from Barnyard Knits. Now this is exciting. This color is called Snowdrop, and it is beautiful. I have actually, I bought this with a friend, and I've already split it in half so that I can send her half. Did I show this in the last episode? I may have shown this in the last episode. If I did, I am validated in showing it to you again because I wanted to tell you that Barnyard Knits has announced today that this is her discounted yarn color of the month for March. So skeins of this color are only $22 this month. It's a pre-order, but she does like a single color every month that is discounted. So if you're interested in this color, it is on sale for sale at a discount right now, and it is incredibly lovely. Oh geez, sorry, I just got really distracted. A bird just flew up and landed on my roof that I can see sticking out. Oh, he's singing. I love it. I have 2 more sock yarn acquisitions. Oops. This one is from Nomadic Yarns because I don't have a problem. And this one is called Cruel Summer. And this one also has like late 70s, early 80s vibes. It's hard to tell in the skein because the thing about this color is the magic really happens once it knits up, because all of these colors are not randomly distributed. They are a gradient. And I'm just so excited to knit this up. I don't even like teal. I've talked to you about teal before, but this has the perfect like summertime in 1979 in California vibes. So I got that. And the last sock yarn acquisition I got was an impulse buy at my local yarn shop when I was there for knit night. And they got a new batch of hedgehog fibers in. And can you even with this color? This is their sock base in the color Mulberry. And just look at the colors in it. Oh my god. Oh. I don't even like to buy hedgehog fibers sock yarn very often because it has a really low nylon content. So it's not the sturdiest, but I may have to find a contrast color for the heels and toes for this and go for it because it is so beautiful. I could not resist this. Unfortunately, it was also not the only thing I could not resist. The other thing I couldn't resist was, I was supposed to look up the name of the pattern. There's a t-shirt that I really want to make by Ozetta. The Moonset Tee. The Moonset Tee by Ozetta. I've been wanting to make this. I have been itching to cast on summer knits like really badly. And I love this tee. I really want to knit it, but I also really love it in white. Not pure white because I'm not that brave. I saw at the yarn shop they had this color of the Shibui Knits Pebble base. We have Shibui Knits Pebble. This is their old packaging, I believe. But I was really bad when I bought this. But they're Shibui Knits Pebble. And this is the color Ivory. And it is, Ivory is a good name for it. It's mostly ivory, but has like this heathered look with white as well. And this base, I've been really wanting to try out. It sounds so luxurious and it looks beautiful. I love the like heathered look. It is 48% recycled silk, 36% fine merino, and 16% cashmere. So it is going to be a very luxurious t-shirt, but also a wardrobe staple. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. I don't know when I'm gonna cast this on. I have been feeling real heavy cast-on-itis, but I've also been feeling really strongly finish-itis. I really want to finish a lot of things. I would love to finish my test knit and a pair of socks before I cast anything else on. I think that sounds reasonable. And, oh, the last acquisitions I have came yesterday. Pardon a crinkle. Move the thing that I'm going to show you last. But the first thing that came in the mail yesterday was cones. I bought cones. I bought 2 cones and they are insane. They're so good. Cones. These are Hulst yarn. They're super soft, but in the cone version, it is 100% wool. I don't remember how much is here. It's something over 500 grams. It might be 500 grams. I don't remember, but I got the color Ember. Look at that heathered beautifulness. Oh, I'm in love. And I got the color Hyacinth, which was actually on sale, which is one of the reasons I bought 2 cones. But this is Hyacinth. It is also heathered tastiness. Oh, so good. So good. My plan for these was to pair them with a Surrey or a mohair type yarn and hold them double, but we'll see what I actually end up using those for. Each one is plenty for a sweater, if not more. Oh, I don't have specific plans for those yet. The last thing I have is my pre-order from the Explorer Knits, just the Explorer Knits and Fibers 2022 Favorites collection. That's what it was called, but I ordered a sweater quantity of Karma Chameleon on Surrey, and it's in the plastic because it will stay in the plastic until I'm ready to use it. But oh my gosh, look at it. It's so pretty. I'm so excited. I'm gonna pair this with either a natural color or like a really pale pink. I have not decided yet. I need to decide what pattern I'm making first. I also am not supposed to be buying yarn like this, so I am not allowing myself to buy the yarn to go with that Surrey until I'm ready to cast on something. But that also goes hand in hand with the life update news I have. That is all I have for acquisitions, so now is the perfect time for me to segue into that life changes, life updates segment, because I really need to stick with the whole not buying yarn goal, because I am making a big life move and I'm quitting my job at the bakery. All right, a little bit of background. If you're new here, or if you don't know for sure, like if you don't follow me on social media, or you, I don't know, have I even told you guys about like my life history? Probably not. But I am a freelance illustrator, part-time. What did I do? I went to school for visual communications with a focus in illustration, and then I graduated and was a commercial graphic designer for about 8 years. I worked for about, no, more than 8 years, because I worked for about 4 or 5 years at my job right after college, my first job after college. I was a designer full-time, and it was really stressful. It was a very high stress job, and I realized that I wanted to illustrate. I wanted to do my stuff for myself, for my job. I wanted to do that. That was the job I wanted. So what I decided to do was make big life change, and I quit my full-time job and went part-time at a different job. Also doing graphic design. I just worked like 24 hours a week doing it instead of working full-time. in a completely different type of work environment. Going part-time was definitely the right move. I'm so sorry if you can hear that car alarm. Going part-time was definitely the right move at the time because I was able to put so much more energy into art and developing my freelance art career or illustration career. And I did a couple of part-time jobs. I worked part-time as a graphic designer at 2 different places at different times. And then when we moved here to Pittsburgh, I decided that working creatively during the day and working creatively at night, basically, really what I was doing was working 3 days at my part-time job, 3 days at my freelance job, and then having just 1 day off a week. But both of my jobs were creative, so it was very creatively draining for me mentally and emotionally, just all of it. It's creatively draining. So I decided that when we moved here to Pittsburgh, I was going to make another move and I was going to get a part-time job that did not involve creativity. Something that was easy and not draining on my mental health, didn't drain my creative battery. So I got a job at a bakery. I worked at the bakery. It has been a year and it's been almost a year and a half now. And it's been fine. It's fine. But we have had a change at the bakery where the position I work is no longer going to be, it's not going to exist anymore. So I will not be working the same position at the bakery that I was working. And my manager gave me options for what other positions I wanted to fill. And I realized that I really didn't want to do any of them. Like if I couldn't do the position I was in, I didn't really want to do anything else. Like I don't want to just work up front and do customer service. I don't want to be a baker. Like that's not something I want to do. So I was talking to Brad about it and the two of us were like going back and forth and hem-hawing. It's like, why don't you just quit? Like just quit. And I realized that I've been taking all of these baby steps towards doing art full time, but I've reached the point now that there aren't any more baby steps I can take. Like if I'm working 20, 24, 30 hours at the bakery every week, that's 20, 24, 30 hours that I'm not working on my business. And I can't, like, I guess I could cut that down to like 1 day a week or something, but what's the point? Like if I'm just going to be going in there and working 1 day a week, I might as well just take all of that energy that I've been putting into working anywhere else and I'm going to put it all into my business immediately and just go for it. Nothing's going to change if nothing changes. So yeah, I am going to continue working at the bakery up until my position has been, like up until the end of my position, because we have like an actual date that it's ending. I'm gonna work at the bakery until then, and then I'm not gonna be working at the bakery anymore. I am going to be doing this full time. I am going to be able to podcast regularly, as I mean, I should have been able to do that anyway, but here we go, I'm committing. So I'll be able to podcast and edit in a more timely manner, and my illustration work will be much more active. I'm going to link below my illustration Instagram if you want to follow me over there, because I think I'm getting pretty close to a follower milestone, and pretty soon I will be having some like a shop update, and I'll be having some changes to my Patreon because I have an art Patreon, and some new products coming out. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I may even start doing shows again. I'll probably start doing shows and events again. Look into some local ones here in Pittsburgh and maybe start doing cons again in the next year, 2023, year I return to cons. So that'll be fun. I had a couple of really good days the other day, and I did 2 paintings in a row, and that's been a long time since I've been able to do that. I haven't had the energy to be creative in a while, it feels like. So I'm very excited about that. I have been sitting around and doing like business plan stuff and figuring out revenue streams and what I want to focus on, and I think I'm going to try overlapping a little bit my art and knitting stuff. I don't want to monetize knitting. It's not something I've ever been interested in doing. It's not something I want to keep loving knitting for what it is on its own. But there are a couple of things that I've been really interested in, like making project bags and the like. I have a stack of project bags here that I have drawn out that I will be painting here in the next couple weeks. I need to run to the art supply store and get a couple more colors before I paint these because I have a vision and I don't have all the colors I need. But I've been sketching out project bags for my first project bag update, and I'll have new stickers and stuff soon because I plan on bringing back physical Patreon rewards. So I should be having physical new products every month again. And it's just all very exciting. It's very exciting. That's honestly the big news. I don't think anything else has really changed in my personal life since I spoke to you last. But oh man, I'm scared, but I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm feeling rejuvenated. It's gonna be, I hope it goes well. We were talking, you know, worst case scenario, it doesn't go well and I have to find a part-time job again, but I really feel like it might work. It might work. So yeah, I'll put links to everything below. I'll have links to all of the knitting related stuff I mentioned. I'll have links to my art stuff if you want to follow me there, because that's where you're going to get updates on like my project bags and such. You can follow me on both Instagrams. And yeah, I mean, if you want, you can even check out my Patreon and stuff. I have lots of really personal life updates on Patreon. It's basically like my diary. And you'll be getting physical rewards soon if you decide to sign up for an appropriate tier. So that's all I got. That's all I got today. Wow, that was packed. That was full of stuff. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode.